Hey, it's Mark. Last night we played D&D for a little bit, and I got to jump into a game that was already in progress. My whole team had been playing this ongoing campaign for a while, and I took over the role of an NPC named Comage, who's a halfling wizard. And so basically, I get popped open right into the middle of a adventure in progress. We were in this cave. We didn't know it was Keggie's cave at the time, but that's we were referring to it as the Lich Room at the time. And there was an obelisk, there was a sarcophagus, there was a dais. You know, your typical old Elvish stuff. And there's some symbols on there we checked out. Um, there's runes on the walls. Something about a missing orb. See, you know, when you jump into the middle of an adventure, it's almost like you have amnesia. You have no idea what's going on. But so I'm surrounded by these people, and they're my party, and it's a pretty motley crew. There's a kobold druid, and I think I'm spelling that wrong. The human paladin. There's a centaur bard and a drow monk, which all these folks have half stories. Their names are Cobalto, Denethor, Night Sky, and Nedra. And apparently, I've hired them. I'm the NPC, and I've hired them from town to go on this adventure with me. And what we've found in the previously, unbeknownst to me, because I just joined the party uh, earlier in the cave, they found some orbs or mystical things representing the four gods of earth, water, air, and fire. And there was some backstory that happened to get them. Each one of them took one aspect of this onto themselves or onto um, an item or a piece of equipment that they had. But I wasn't there for that. So anyway, we checked out everything in the end of the cave, and this is kind of the end of the adventure. So we went outside the cave, and it was very quiet outside the cave, almost too quiet. And we ran into some uh, 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 ogres that had been dead for a month or whatever. And when we poked at them with a stick, of course they animated because they were zombies, and we had to fight them. And there's a picture of me. I'm a wizard. I'm shooting them with some stuff, and we killed them off pretty easy. Nobody in our party was damaged too much. Um, got blessings by the paladin, and the centaur was kicking everybody in the head, donkey punch style. We had our druid was turned into a bear and was mauling people, and the drow was doing drowy things. Anyway, that was all on our way back to the town of Amberstead, where apparently I have a tower because I'm the local wizard. I'm also known as Comange the Mad. So I've got this ancient Elvish book that we took from the cave, and it's beyond my ability to read. It's hard for me to read. It appears more of a history book to me, and so I decided to go back into my tower to study the book a bit because I've got a library and I'm the local mage. So maybe my library will help me figure out what's going on. And sure enough, it's a history of Kegi. So Kegi is the fifth lost god of shadow, and apparently the four other gods um, weren't really down with what the god of shadow was doing back in the day, and so they locked him up in a cave with an obelisk, and it looks like we probably unleashed him out into the world. Good job, team. Anyway, I want to tell the rest of the team what's going on. It's nighttime, so I go over to this place called the Drunken Dragon, and there's a party going on. The While I was studying my book, the centaur, which is who's a bard, rolled a natural 20 plus 8 to give a 28th level concert in the Drunken Dragon. There's a stage there, and so everybody's going completely crazy because it's the best thing they've ever seen in their life. And Nedra from our party is crowd surfing and having a good time. And so I go up to the bar and talk to, oh no, hold on. I go up to the bar and talk to another party member of mine, Paladin, who's getting drunk at the bar. Not necessarily drunk in a happy sort of way, more drunk in like the alcoholic sort of way. But I share what I've learned about the book with him, and he's not too keen on the idea that he's unleashed evil into the world because he is, after all, a paladin. And so um, we come up with a plan to let the rest of the party know. Right now, everybody's having too much of a good time partying, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna go back. I leave the party. I go back to the tower. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna read the book some more, and what I kind of find out is that more about this is that to if we want to trap the goddess shadow, which sounds like we should probably do, we're going to have to use the those four elements that were imbued into the party members earlier, and earth, water, air, shield. These are got imbued into uh, some claws, a shield, the voice of the centaur, the monk's wraps, and so this is how the things are playing out. So it looks like we are the people who are going to be able to um, on this quest. And so we go to the town market. The next day, we decide to meet there. Um, our Dro, uh, our Dro monk is apparently also a purveyor of questionable meat products. So the only one who's willing to eat that is the paladin, who is immune to all poisons. And so they're having food, and then uh, we get the notion that like maybe the evil is gone somewhere, and we'd like to find the evil. And so um, our Koboldo, the Kobold um, druid, turns into a hawk, flies around, goes back to where the ogre fight happened, tries to see if there's any paths to follow, or see if we can see where the evil went. He speaks with some squirrels who are not super informative, talking mostly about nuts, but they give us the impression that the evil's not any particular place, and that maybe we're going to have to take another angle on that. So that's about where we ended up in our big adventure, but it was a lot of fun, and I haven't played D&D in a long time. I didn't do a very good job actually role playing, but I had a lot of fun, and yeah, and I made a mind map, and there it is.